Hey there, Descendants, my fellow Americans and people in other countries around the world. How are we all doing today? Today, I'm going to be providing my first impressions on the October update thus far. I just finished up a 9.5 hour stream, um, spending my time exclusively running the new Void Vessel, and just stuff like that. Um, I don't really have any qualms with this update, but I want to talk about the things that I like, and I want to talk about some things that maybe raise a concern or two, not necessarily things that I think are bad or, anything like that. Um, and I'm also going to address other people's concerns that they may have by relaying some very relieving information. So let's just get into that right away. So the first thing is that obviously in my initial video, which got over 1,000 views, not the one about being patient, but the other one about the amorphous material optimization and the optimization conditions. I was like, this could be bad for the game, right? I actually said it was bad. And I just didn't have all the facts back then, right? But in the live stream, the devs have actually said they're going to rework the existing basic Colossi in the game, so that way there's a little bit more incentive, to play those Colossi instead of just farming best in slot external components and stuff like that, and I think that's an amazing change. I mean, they're addressing everybody's concerns with it. Um, like I'm genuinely just happy with the fact that the devs are considering, the fact that they're taking incentive away, from providing these changes to the game and stuff like that, and they're going to at least try to re-provide that incentive for the Colossi and stuff like that, instead of just being a place to open up the amorphous materials as they kind of have been, unless you're still farming good components, which then of course you have two reasons to play them. And so now they have the shaping device here, which I actually quite like. You can open things really, really quickly. The amorphous materials, you can open them really quickly. Let's just use this as an example. Go ahead and skip this. Why did that take so long? Oh well, I guess sometimes it's long, sometimes it's short. We'll just open these. I mean, I don't need any of this stuff anyway. Huh, they must have updated it. I mean, anyway, it's still pretty fast. It's definitely a lot faster than doing it with the Colossi, so that's good. Definitely a more efficient way to do it, that's for sure. And as for the optimization condition being gone, I actually think it's a good thing for the game. I don't think that 3 catalysts was enough. Thank you, Jason. I think each and every player should have at least gotten 10. Um, but I digress. I mean, three is free, and free stuff is always good. So I'm not necessarily complaining. I'm just saying, like, I don't think it necessarily compensates or makes up for it all that much. I mean, if you're trying to consider the new players and the experienced players slash veteran players, at least give everybody 5, maybe. But anyway, that's not the point. The new Void Vessel is fun, but it is quite challenging, especially for me. I know, shocker. My pretty much my entire channel now is dedicated to TFD, and I find it difficult to play Void Vessel. Oh, I must suck at the game or something. No, no, but so there are a few Descendants though who are really good for it. Valby is good for it. Freyna is good for it. Obviously, Nell is good for it. Ultimate Luna is good for it. And surprisingly enough, Serena is actually not that good in there, unless, I mean, I guess unless you bring like ice, or I don't know, like bring a gun with ice on it or something like that. Maybe probably bring a gun with toxic, then she could be pretty good. But otherwise, like, just her basic, like, firearm attack and, like, weak point damage, Ancient Knight's not gonna cut it in there. It barely even touches the Arcade Slayer at all. I tried it. Um, so okay, but I do like the new Void Vessel. I much prefer it to the old one, that's for sure. Especially with the way that they just included the shields, that the only thing you need to take them down on the enemies is the ability-based damage, which I think is a massive, massive improvement over the old version where you had to actually shoot them. I always find that to be the most annoying part about running the old Void Vessel, and now I don't even have to touch it anymore, because the only reason why you'd run it after you get everything out of there is to get catalyst materials, right? And now I don't even have to touch that ever again, so thank you, Nexon. That's amazing. The new Void Vessel is great. People are complaining about the drop rates. Guys, don't forget about target rewards. Also, for me, the drop rates aren't that bad. I already have, you guys just saw me start researching the sword in full. So, the Shadow Blade, I believe it's called. I think it's called the Shadow. And for the Deus Ex Manus, I'm going to get that done in hard mode, but I can't play, like I said, I can't do the hard mode solo. I can only do the normal mode solo. But yeah, I mean, I dig it, you know. I think we're heading in a good direction, a better direction. I think next year this game is really going to start shining, dude. I mean, I genuinely really do. Especially as, like, I feel like after they re-incentivize the existing Colossi in the game, like, the game overall is going to start really shaping up and just becoming what the devs have always wanted it to be. I feel like next year is our year when it comes to this game for sure. We've had a pretty, I would say, decent year this year for the game. Obviously better than release. I've heard a lot of people echo, you know, that the QOL updates have massively improved the game, and I'm in total agreement. You know, I don't have much experience with it from 2023 when it came out. Or no, 2024, I'm sorry, last year. Got my ears mixed up for a sec. I don't have much experience from it from when it came out, but I do have a lot of experience from it, with it from this year. And just like going through this journey, this process of like learning everything that I've learned about the game and just like experiencing things as they come out. I mean, I've not really had this experience with any other game. The only game that could come close is Elden Ring, but that would be more lore based than anything else because obviously Elden Ring is not a live service game. This game and Elden Ring are my top two favorite games of all time, by the way. The first Descendant and Elden Ring, they're tied for first place. So, I mean, if that, hopefully that conveys like how much I actually enjoy this game and how much passion I have behind it as a content creator for the game. You know, because like I genuinely want this game to shine, and I think that the devs, I think they're finally getting to a spot to where they can help start making the game shine more and more and more. And I think we're going to see it, I mean, from this point on in season 3 and then season 4 onwards, you know? I mean, there's going to be a couple of hiccups, you know, every game has hiccups, especially live service games. They're not all, you know, sunshine and rainbows. Sometimes the devs maybe make the wrong call or maybe make a call that's not the best for what, you know, they could have done for this particular thing inside of the game. But they're listening to us. I actually told them, I sent that video to them. I was like, this de-incentivizes X, X, and X. You know, talking about the optimization condition being removed and the amorphous materials being repurposed in Albion. I mentioned it, and I think, I mean, I don't want to take full credit for it, but I would like to think that I at least had some influence on them when it came to bringing incentive back to the Colossi battles, because I feel like at least without people like me who kind of echoed that opinion to them, we wouldn't have had that, you know, brought to the table in the live stream and mentioned and talked about. So 2026 is going to be a good year for this game. Trust me, you can mark my words on that. 2026 is our year as TFD players, Descendants. Trust me on that. So far I give the October update probably a strong 8.5 out of 10. Yeah, let's give it a 9 actually. Let's give it a 9. The only reason why I would deduct a point is because like my Nell is actually pretty fucking strong. And I mean, just the fact that they could take her down is kind of crazy. I mean, maybe that's more so on me than anything else. I actually just want to make my Descendant better. But yeah, I mean, I think this update is a shining ray of hope for the game, and I especially like them mentioning like the way they talked about the future updates in the live stream brings me a lot of hope too. I think we're finally almost through this process of, you know, like creating infrastructure and like trying to figure out our identity as a game when it comes to the first Descendant. You know, I'm going to keep on providing feedback to the developers. I'm going to keep on asking you guys what you think about the game overall at certain points. You know, that way I can provide some feedback from you guys to them as well. Because I know a lot of you don't actually message them. I do message them. I've messaged them about 5 or 6 times now concerning the game, of course. And they've always gotten back to me, and they've always said, yeah, we'll forward this to the people who this is relevant to, you know, so. it's always been a good experience doing that, you know, and stuff like that. You know, we always cordial and respectful. So yeah, I mean, I think that about does it for this video. I will be live tomorrow, so if you're watching this on the 2nd, catch my live on later in the day on the 2nd of October. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. You drop a comment down below if you made it all the way to the end, and I will see you in the next one.